Welcome back to the Renegade Report. I'm Francis Mayer, Sports Information Director for the finest community college athletic department in the known universe. It's BC Athletics. We've been around since 1923, producing champions and belligerent suckers like this. Okay, let's just get it out of the way. Pedro Corona is with us today. Pete, you're an All-American. What does that mean?
Nothing really. I mean, just that I did what I had to do and came on top on the top four.
Right, in the entire state of California.
Yeah.
And California is not a joke when it comes to wrestling. Like, they kicked us out of the National JUCO tournament because they were tired of us beating up on them, right?
Yeah.
But we have two kind of extremes here today. Pete, what weight class do you wrestle?
133s.
What do you weigh right now?
About 141.
141. So you've got 8 pounds to go until Saturday?
Yeah, until next week.
Oh, next week. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we're off this week.
You're fat and happy
Yeah.
right now. You're good. Wrestling term there. And Macias, you're not a weight cutting type, though.
No, I'm a heavyweight.
How does your weight class work?
Well, pretty much from about 200 pounds all the way to 285.
285,
That's
folks.
a gap.
You weigh about what, 225?
Nah, I weigh 260.
260? Jeez. Wow. And is that your off-season weight, too, or are you pretty
Yeah, I just maintain my weight most of the whole year round.
How heavy were you in the off-season?
Well, the off season was when I started cutting, so that way it just float off easily. But
What does float off mean?
Float off is just you're not doing much, not cutting weight. You're just eating right, so that way your weight can just magically disappear.
Right, as you sleep. And it is truly magic, friends. And that is a difficult part of the sport, but it's also part of that gladiator mentality. There's nothing like going to a Friday practice on an empty stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you've got like one bottle of water, right? And that's part of the deal. It takes a lot of discipline. And you have a special set of discipline or challenges this year because, boy, as fate would have it, you've got an absolute, I can't say that on the show, you've got a monster in your weight class.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Isaiah Perez.
And you won the Sac City tournament, of course, but you've had a lot of second place finishes this year because you run into Perez, who I think was a 3-time state placer.
Yeah.
He won a prestigious freestyle tournament. Isn't his girlfriend like a national rank?
Yeah.
Number one in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, so the guy's all about wrestling. Do you feel like you can beat him, and how hard is it to maintain your weight and go through the grueling rigor of wrestling practices knowing you might run into this guy in the finals?
I mean, ever since I first saw him, I knew right away I'm gonna see him throughout the whole season, and it's wrestling and all. You know from the first day of practice who you're gonna go against, and when it comes down to the week, it's all about wrestling. Do what you gotta do, but then again, wrestling is unpredictable. Anything can happen.
Right, because let's say there's a guy, Joe Smith, in your weight class, and Joe beats Perez all the time. Every time he runs into him, right?
Yeah.
And you beat up on Joe Smith like it's your little brother, but that doesn't mean that you're going to beat Perez.
Yeah.
Like, it's a crazy thing about the sport. Is there something about his style that is kind of flummoxing you? Does he have a strength that you don't have, or?
I mean, he's a really all around wrestler, but it's just that he's really good on top.
Okay.
That's where he got. It's been getting me these past few weekends.
So by on top, you mean if he takes you down or he starts out on top in the second or third period, he's a guy that is hard to get off your back.
Yeah. I've been known to get out of bottom a lot quicker than usually, but him, he knows what he's doing. He knows where his weight's at.
Yeah, and that's an incredible game of balance, right? I mean, you're using your hands, your feet, your knees.
Yeah, every muscle of your body.
Right. Macias, you've won a fair amount of matches this year. How is your weight class looking?
It's looking pretty good. The only person I haven't been able to beat it's Brandon Sotomayor from East LA, and he was in the state final last year. But I've been getting closer to beating him, and I've met with I think it was 3 times now.
Okay.
2 times, and the first time I lost to him 5-1.
Okay.
Last time it was.
Did he let you up or did you escape?
He cut me.
Okay. That's okay. All right. And then second time?
And the second time it was 2-3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was this past weekend.
You feel like you're getting a beat on him?
Yeah, I think if I keep doing what my coaches taught me and working what they actually taught me to do and listen during the match, I'd be really close to beating him.
Listen during the match, yes. So wrestling coaches are interesting because there will usually be 2 coaches in the corner of the mat. And when you have an opportunity, or there's a break in the action, they might pantomime a move for you, right? And say like, hey, Sit out. Do you remember how to defend the legs? Like, catch it, right? And you want to pay attention to that, especially for you, because you have arguably two of the best heavyweights in the state in the last 20 years, and Coach Bret Clark and Coach what's his name, Espejo. I pretended like I forgot. Joe won a state championship, and he'll be glad to point that out to you. He's a very talented guy. He's still competitive in MMA, but you have some great coaches, straight up. Do you feel like you've gotten better since high school?
Yeah, definitely. Just I've always had that pretty much one-on-one coaching from Clark and Espejo. Sometimes I stay after and have them teach me things, and they know what being a heavyweight is, so they help you more with. Okay, you need to focus on doing this, and it's going to help you win matches.
And explain that for us. It's a lot like boxing. The heavyweight match is different than the match that old Pete wrestles, right?
Yes, very.
Like, you guys aren't hitting Granbys and like...
Rarely.
Right. Rarely. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a different match.
Yeah, it's a slower pace, but it's more of strength-wise, like who's pushing
Power.
who. Yeah. So first period will probably be 0-0. And then second period, if he goes down or I go down, it'll be 1-0, and then it's usually over 10 matches. And then there's a lot of stalling calls, technicalities.
Stalling. Oh, stalling. That's a referee's interpretation. And, you look at Greco matches in the Olympics, and you're like, what are they doing?
They're just pushing. Yeah,
they're pushing, and it's like, I guess he has inside control or something. And then they're like, yep, 2 points to him. What did they pushed? What do they do? And in wrestling, you want to sometimes, like, if a guy's good on top, maybe he just wants to look like he's working. Yeah. But really, he's just putting weight on you and watching you squirm and sweat. And he's not trying to pin you. He's not trying to turn you. And that's one of those things but we can't let the refs decide the match, right?
Yes.
So that's the deal there. And you're carrying more weight than he is. You're working very hard. Your heart isn't that much bigger than his, physically, right? Physically. But you're carrying 2 of him.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 of him.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
You are 2 of him. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. So we're off this weekend, and everything in wrestling, it's not so much about the tournaments, is it? What are you working towards?
Going to state and being on top of the podium at the end of the year.
Because if you won every tournament during the season and then went 0-2 at the qualifying tournament for state,
nothing matters.
You would not care.
It's 0-0 every tournament.
That's it. That is absolutely correct. Well, guys, we hope to see you up there on the podium. I know that you want to win a state title. I know you want to win a state title. How did you guys do at state in high school?
I barely qualified my senior year. I went 0-2.
Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a twin, don't you?
Yeah, I have a twin.
Okay. Does he wrestle?
No, he does not anymore.
Anymore? So he did.
Yeah, he did at one point.
Okay. Twins are spooky to me. I got to ask a few questions. Are you guys competitive?
Yes, we're really competitive. Really competitive.
Did he stop wrestling because you kind of like passed him up?
I don't know personally why he quit. There's multiple motives, but
not that you've thought about it or anything. Are you close to your brother?
Yeah, I'm extremely close to him.
Yeah.
Does he follow your wrestling career?
Not anymore. He works now and goes to school, so he doesn't have time to.
So he's the smart brother. Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. What a treat to see you gain All-American status. And all kidding aside, that is a very big deal. Like he said, there's 4 folks in each weight class for the entire state of California who are called All-Americans. And they kicked us out of the national tournament for a reason. Okay, it's because we were beating up on people. And I'm glad that you guys have made the best of your experience at Bakersfield College. What's your long-term plan? Do you want to get a degree?
Yes. I want to be able to transfer out and get a degree somewhere else.
Nice. Very good. And did you plan on wrestling out of high school? Was that part of your long view? Or?
At first, no, because I was trying to go to the Army in the beginning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then my coach kept telling me, you should go wrestle.
He decided to take the hard route and wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, do I really want to do this? And then I think, like, I'm working hard, worked throughout the summer and to be here. So there's no point to quit now.
This goes for both of you. Do you guys feel like other things in life are easier because you've wrestled? Because wrestling practice, is it fun? Kind of.
Depends.
Once in a while.
Right.
In the day and the coaches.
If you're the guy beating up on everybody, it's fun.
Yeah.
Right. But if you can't tell if they're tears or sweat, it's one of those days. It's definitely tough, and you get back what you put in most instances. And people are pulling for you. You couldn't. There's no way that you could have planned to have this monster in your weight class, but we're glad that you're fighting to knock him off. So that's awesome stuff. You think you can do it?
Yeah, definitely.
Good teammate right there. And you've got Roberson and a lot of other good teammates, and there's good things happening out there. Kuntz is doing good, right?
Yeah.
He's won a couple
Yeah.
tournaments. He's done some things, so that's very good. Follow BC Wrestling. I think they are Gade Wrestling on Twitter, and we're hosting the SoCal Regional Tournament, correct?
Yes.
That's going to be a great day of wrestling.
Yes.
So come out and check that out. He's
Lot
going
of
to
good
win the
matches.
tournament. So and so is he. So come out and support your Renegades. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Speaking of people coming out on top, we're going to visit with Randy Bourgeon next. She had an incredible low score at the last conference match, and it's only getting better for her. So we'll check in with her and hear more about women's golf next on the Renegade Report.